Good morning. Welcome, welcome. We're about to get ready for coffee with Casper. And it is 8:28. We're gathering for coffee with Casper. Casper, come on over here. Casper, come on. Come over here, come over here. Come over here. Now come up. Say hi. There's a mountain dog down here. Good morning, everybody. Let me know. We're, of course, broadcasting live. Coffee with Casper is going to come on live. There we are. We're making it onto Facebook. So let me know when you're on Facebook and where you are so we can say hi. Casper has already said hello. We got a minute to go. Good morning from North Carolina. Good morning from Boise. Good morning from Palm Desert. Good morning from Hollywood. Beautiful, glamorous Hollywood. Here it is, Southern California. We're warming up a little bit. Got Aloha shirts back on. Going to be 85 here in Southern California today. We're beginning to get the signs of spring. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Let me know where you're checking in from. We're glad you're here. We're about a minute away from getting ready. We take a gong ourselves in and take a breath. Got your coffee, got your chance to relax for 20 minutes. We're sure glad you're here this morning. Good morning from Las Vegas. Good to see you this morning. Good morning, good morning. All righty. Almost there. We're up there it is. It's officially 8:30. It's Coffee with Casper. We're broadcasting live here from Southern California. And we are on YouTube. Tell your friends about it. Share wherever you can. Let's get the word out as we bring more and more light into the world. Thank you for being here this morning. All right, here we go. Let's ring this gong. Let's take a deep breath in. Let that breath rise into your heart center. Put your attention on your heart center. Relax your shoulders. And just give yourself this 20 minutes to be present, to look for a new thought, a new idea, something that encourages, inspires, uplifts, and brings forth a greater degree of livingness. We're sure glad you're here this morning. Well, let me know where you are, where you're checking in from. Good morning. Oh, I actually have Hawaiian music in the background. All righty. Welcome from the Burbank area. This video has ended. It better not be ending. It should be going. Here we go. What's happening here? We should be live. What's going on? Here we go. There it is. There's the gong. There's your... Welcome from North Carolina. Good morning from San Diego. All right. Nice to see you this morning. All right. So here's what we want to talk about today, because there was an expression when I was growing up. Maybe you heard it in your life. It's probably lasted several generations. And the expression was, well, use your common sense. And of course, what we have discovered is, in a world awakening, sometimes the most uncommon thing is common sense. And so here we want to look at, here is where humanity is. We are moving toward, now you've heard me say this for weeks and weeks and weeks because it's been going on for billions of years. So we have to recognize that we're catching up. We're beginning to put together these ideas that the mind of humanity has revealed to itself through its science and its understanding of its environment, and that which is already established from the beginning. And what was established from the beginning is that there's only one life force. That life force that is in you, that life force that is in me, the life force that is in every person, in every continent, in every race, in every tradition, it is exactly the same life force. No one exactly knows what the life force is, but we do discover it in ourselves. And we discover that the life force in ourselves and in all sentient beings is the same life force. So what we then recognize is that there's a unity, there's a oneness, that the science now tells us that energy and matter are equal and interchangeable, and even that weird part that we call entropy, the little bit of energy that we can't know where it went, goes into the same field. It doesn't go anywhere. Energy doesn't die, it changes form. And so what we recognize is no matter what the form of the energy, there is only one energy. Now, if there's only one energy and one life force, it is logical then to assume that there is only one life. And that is the life that finds itself centered in you and in me. Good morning from Texas this morning. Hope your journey was great and you're settling in. Good morning. Aloha from Angela Jane Taggart, and she's with Crystal McGee, I guess. Nice to see you all. Aloha, everybody. Good to see you this morning. So this unity of all life, this intelligence, that life force that's in everybody, translates into intelligence. Into the intelligence, we go the scale. It's mineral, the intelligence that's in a rock or in the minerals, that a rock knows how to stay a rock. It knows how to vibrate at whatever its elemental energy is. The next level up is simple consciousness. That is where, for example, the plant has a simple consciousness. It always aims toward the sun. It knows how to grow. It knows how to root itself. It is alive and it has intelligence. And the next one up is, so that'd be plant and mineral consciousness. The next one up is simple consciousness. The next level up is self-consciousness. That's where you and I are. We are aware of ourselves. We can not only think, but we can think about what we think about. And so now we have these understandings coming out of the mind of man. This is what we call science, the observation of what's happening. And science now says, yes, there is this elemental kingdom that begins with energy as waves, and then it turns from waves into particles, the smallest being an electron. And then we know the basics. The electron, atoms, protons, neutrons, and electrons create atoms, and atoms together create molecules, and molecules create elements, and elements create the things of the world. That is the Newtonian observation of what's happening. The quantum observation, which is happening simultaneously. These both models are present in our day today. The quantum model, everything is pure energy and is in a wave, an invisible wave. God loves waves. Waves are very popular in the building blocks of cosmos itself, of source itself. And when the wave is observed, when consciousness looking at it observes it, it changes from a wave to a particle. So that means the one looking at it has tremendous force, because the one looking at it is creating what we think will happen. In other words, when it says the observer affects the experiment, it means your attitude about what it is you're looking at affects what's actually happening. This is known. This has been demonstrated. Quantum science has been around for 45, 50 years. It is proven at every level. The challenge is that the mind of humanity has not put these two together, recognizing that both and are true. There is the building blocks, the particles and the molecules, and there is the consciousness that brings forth the molecules, the particles and molecules, right? So if we as metaphysicians, meaning we're looking behind all of that, we can see then that consciousness looking at it is the initiating force. We are aware of ourselves. We can think about what we think about. We can think about what we're looking at, and we can think about the attitude that we're looking at it with. Yes? So when we're looking at a world that is trying to wake up to the reality of unity consciousness, and that's what we're doing. You and I as light workers, I am that. Whatever it is that I am is, I am that. I am is being in the first person. The only way you can find being is to be conscious of it in the first person. Casper is aware. He has got a life force in him. He's aware of whatever it is he's thinking about, but he's not thinking about what he's thinking about. Right now he's over chasing lizards that are hiding in the crevices of the building of the house, right? And he's enjoying that, but he doesn't know that he's chasing lizards. He just is chasing lizards because it's part of his nature to chase lizards. You and I could be chasing lizards, but at one point we go, I'm not going to eat the lizard. I can't do anything with the lizard. I'm not really going to disturb the lizard, so maybe I won't bother to chase the lizard. Maybe I'll just enjoy looking at the lizard, right? We can decide how we're going to interact with whatever it is that we're looking at. And we can also think about what is it that we are, what is our attitude, what is our point of view as we're observing something, yes? This is really important because humanity, you and I, as light workers in the world, as people who are evolving into our immortal nature, I am an immortal spiritual being, superior to my mind, to my body, and to my experience. I have a mind, body, and experience, but what I am is greater than that, right? And I am the sum total of all of that, and I am the one who can look at it, right? So this power that I have to observe is the power I have to co-create with the divine. And what we're seeking to bring into the human condition is the reality that we're all connected, that which I bring to you is coming from me, and the law of the circle says whatever's coming from me is going to come back to me. That's the law of the circle, the law of cause and effect, the law of creation, the law of cause, but it is the law behind all things that are happening. Everybody is creating something by means of the sum total of their vibration, whatever's coming through them, which is their point of view as an observer. Because, for example, if you are observing things are going from bad to worse, then everything you look at will look like and will support your conclusion that things are going from bad to worse. If you are of the belief that I am one with the one, that coded within me is my capacity to align with the one, to align with the force of love, to align with the force of joy, to align with the force of wisdom. Hello? Oh, other people are saying hi to everybody here on Coffee with Casper. That's nice. Good, good, good. Well, we're all light workers. We should be interacting. There we go. Let me know where you are, I can see you from. I see some comments. I'm not seeing all of them, but I want to see you. We're glad you're here. So here's where we are. There is a law in the cosmos. Since the universe is born, God looked at its creation, as the original story. God looks at creation and says it is good, and it is very good. Meaning it created out of itself, out of its nature, which is goodness, that which it perceived as good, right? So you and I are born as the perceivers of good. And because that's coded within us, when we begin to activate that, when we begin to be conscious about our capacity to perceive the good, we are beginning to engage the law of greater good, right? This is why we often talk about when you're using your conscious mind to create, say you want to create a new car, right? It is probably not the best thing to say, I want the car to be this brand, to be this color, to be this interior. Not that you don't have the right to choose that if they're showing up, but what you say is, I want the right and perfect car for the right and perfect price, and then you open your eyes to see what's revealing itself to you. What is revealing itself to you as your perfect car? Recently, a couple of years ago, I bought a new car, and I looked at several different cars as I opened the door to what I wanted. And then I had 3 that were all available for basically the same price, and I was looking at them, and I was having a hard time figuring out which was the one that I really wanted. And then I had to fall back into myself and remember the driving experience of each of these cars. And I remember one of them made me feel good. The way that it drove made me feel good about driving it and about the potential of owning it. So it was looking first through my eyes of the desire, here I need a new car, then what does that car look like, right? And then, what is the right car that fits the I am that I am in my current state of consciousness, right? So rather than outlining what it's going to be, we open to the possibility, we start to attract from that possibility, and then we look at what we've attracted and see what is it that we really are desiring, right? So we are looking at radiant. We're looking at desiring, as we should, our highest level of health. Knowing that we're born in the image and likeness of wholeness, how do I draw that highest image of my own health into my expression so that I'm affirming that I'm radiant, vibrant, dynamic health, that I'm whole, complete, and perfect, that the pattern of my existence is already ordained to live permanently, eternally in the one, as the one, with the one, in harmony, right? So as I begin to choose, what's happening is I'm drawing forth into my experience probabilities, right? And here's what's behind all the probabilities that we draw into our life. What's behind all the probabilities is our consciousness, yes? And behind that is the law of the greater good. So what good is going to be manifest first is that good that fills the highest and best for all those involved. So as we're making choices in health, in prosperity, in wealth, and how much good can I have, good and more good is mine, how can I open to that overflowing goodness that is the nature of life, which is all around us all the time. You see nature always giving itself its entirety to who's ever observing it, completely given in entirety. So we are observing it, and are we taking it in? Are we noticing the beauty around us? Are we appreciating the overflowing beauty that nature is sharing with us all the time? And are we recognizing our unity with that nature, and that that's just a symbol of the overflowing good that is ours to observe? But you could be immersed in, I happen to love the redwood forest in Big Sur, but you could be sitting in the redwood forest in Big Sur and just say, well, it's just a bunch of trees. It's your attitude about it that will bring to you and from that environment what it's actually offering you. But it cannot go higher than your attitude about it, than the filter through which you are looking at it, right? The observer affects the experiment. The observer affects everything that we're looking at. Whoa, it affects everything. And we cannot escape that law. And we say, well, how come this other person got this good before I got my good? And the answer is, the probability was that good arriving first was the highest and good for all who are touched by that experience. So we are looking then to change our consciousness from being so self-centered that it's all about my good, that we begin to make choices that are for the good, the highest good for all, because the law of probabilities is always going to make manifest that which is the highest good for all first. That which brings the greatest degree of livingness is what will move through your consciousness into the world. So that's what most people are not aware of. There are two things happening here, which is the law of the circle is drawing back into your experience that which is yours, right? That's what's really happening here, right? Now, aloha. Aloha from Honolulu. Good to see you this morning, right? We're drawing into our experience that which is the highest good for us. So we can use our mind on a daily basis through our prayers and meditation to affirm this greater good, to open to the greater good, say good and more good is mine, there's no limit to the good. Divine mind, divine intelligence is guiding, guarding, directing, and protecting me. That which is my highest good is being revealed to me and through me in my experience today. We can begin to create these attitudes with our conscious awareness and use them on a daily basis. But we are now then aware, since we are aware of unity consciousness, and we are aware that all humanity needs to reach critical mass of unity consciousness before we all start to work together for the greater good, rather than I'll get mine first and see what's left over for the greater good. The law of multiplicity says good and more good multiplies itself at the highest level. So wherever we're holding the intention for the highest level of good, that good will be manifest first. It may come to us in a different sequence than we think, but it will come to us. That's why we are not, as we often say, we are not on the Ways and Means Committee. Ours is not the how, but the what. What is it that I am seeking? What is it that I'm desiring in health, in wealth, in love, and in the fulfillment of my purpose? I deserve to comfortably live my life and fulfill my purpose. And so do you, and so does every other living soul. But each one must come to the well by the self. The self must lead the self, to the self, through the self. So this law of the circle is the primary backup system that God or the universe or source has created so that it cannot be destroyed. You cannot have a power rise up to destroy the law of harmony, because harmony is the fundamental principle, because the law of the greatest good is what's happening through the field of probabilities, which is how the universe actually works. Now there's some other good news in here. The good news is that love is spontaneous. So as you set yourself up for the higher probabilities of good, a miracle is the movement of that good into a spontaneous action of love for your personal benefit between you and the cosmos itself. Light, touching light, being aware of light, being aware of its unity with itself. This is the highest moment. It's called cosmic consciousness or awareness. We are all destined to have it. We all deserve it. It is ours. So trust in the law of the greater good. Trust in your own instrument and avenue of light, being an instrument and avenue of love. Call it into the greatest form today. And then not only is the law of the greater probability going to happen, but that which is your special, your unique connection to Source can spontaneously burst you into a greater good, and that greater good can often be considered a miracle. A miracle healing, a miracle circumstance, a miracle advance, a miracle restoration, a miracle love. All of these things are normal, because what is normal is that which is your field of consciousness and how much room it has to accept the greater good. There is a law. It is looking always to bring forth the greatest good for the highest benefit of all. You are part of that law. We are part of that law. Let us use that law. Good and more good is mine, and this good that I seek for myself, I would seek for all, for the I am that I am is one with the I am that you are. And the more we bring in this larger picture, this greater good, this greater attraction to good, the more magic and miracles and wonder and awe comes into our life. You are a light worker. Coffee with Casper is about talking to you so that you are empowered to go out and make your life a spontaneous miracle in joy and love. You deserve your right to be a spontaneous movement of love and joy and beauty in the world. Open yourself for it this week. Open yourself to accept the largest possible good for the benefit of all, and walk in the world that you are bringing more light, that the good flows through you and multiplies itself around you. Share this video wherever you think it can do some good. Share it on your LinkedIn, share it on your Facebook, share it on whatever networks or groups you're a part of, and let us all work together toward bringing forth unity consciousness realized in the world, so that we finally bring forth that which is humanity co-creating the possibility for a self out of its understanding of its connection to all of life. Who you are is something special. Until we meet again, I invite you to go in the light, as the light, and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. We'll be back next week with Coffee with Casper. Tell your friends, spread the word. We'll see you then. Bye for now. Casper, you want to come say? Casper, come on. Come back, say hi. Come on up. One more time. Say, come on. Attaboy. Say bye. Say bye. I was so busy chasing lizards this morning. Okay.